During class, the teacher called my name. He said I had owed a semester's tuition. The principal told me to leave the classroom. I went home and asked my father when he could pay. He said it depended on the sky. If the weather stayed kind and the harvest was good, I could keep going to school. The young men in the village had all left. Only the weak and hopeless remained. For quick cash, the villagers sold our last few trees to a lumber company. Without the trees, floods rushed in like wild dogs, swallowing the crops we had just planted. When the flood was gone, the drought came. Everything in the field withered. That meant no harvest this year. The food we had left could last maybe 2 months. My dream of going to school turned to dust. One day, I saw my science teacher secretly meeting my sister. In our village, that kind of thing was seen as disgraceful. Anger burned in my chest. I wanted to take apart his bicycle to warn him, but then the light from his bike caught my eye. As the wheel spun, the headlamp flickered on and off, like a ray of dawn breaking into my dark world. A thought flashed in my mind. What if I could make power? What if electricity could pull water from the ground? I didn't know enough. So William went to ask the teacher why the light worked without a battery. The teacher said it was a generator. Magnets and coils breaking a magnetic field to create electricity. I wanted to build one, but I had no idea what materials I needed. The teacher didn't know either, but he said there were books about it in the library. I couldn't get in. I hadn't paid tuition, so I forced the teacher to help me. Because I can keep a secret, sir. There is a man who comes to my village to see my sister. He pretended I was helping him with an experiment and brought me inside. Thanks to his word, I was allowed to stay. I found a book about wind power. Then I started looking for materials to build a generator. I found a small battery and a water pump, but no parts for the generator itself. So I went to my sister and asked her to get the teacher's generator. The next day, she went to him and promised to run away with him in exchange for it. I gathered my friends. We used plastic pipes for blades and connected the generator to a radio. When the blades started spinning, the radio came to life. A small wind generator was born. I brought it to my father. I told him if we built a bigger one, we could power a water pump and save the fields for good. But to do that, I needed to take apart his bicycle. Bam. Then my mother stepped in. He finally understood that praying wouldn't bring the rain. He handed me the bicycle and said he'd believe in me this time. When the villagers heard, they came to help. Together we built a tall wooden tower. Soon, a giant windmill stood in the field. I climbed to the top and hooked up the wires. The wind started turning the blades. The generator began to hum. Everyone waited. Then water came out of the pipe. My father wrapped his arms around me.